a little bit. But do you want to do the beer reviews? Do you want to start it up? What's up,
Sure.
TJ? All right, I'll let you go first then. We'll go to your thing, and we got you going.
Okay. So this week, I've actually been trying to find beer from Tired Hands. They're out of Ardmore, PA, which is, I guess, one of the suburbs of Philadelphia. Ted, correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong
it
there.
is. It is pretty close. Literally, Tired Hands is about 30 minutes away from my house, and I was looking to get, and we really need to set up a time to go
Mhm.
and get it, because apparently the only way you can get their beer is by going to the brewery. And
Yes.
Rochester, I was actually looking to get some of that beer to bring up to you, and I just didn't get a chance to get to the brewery. So we'll have to set up sometime where I can actually um, bring you or send you a beer through the beer trade once we get that all established. So, but that's sooner than later, right? So, um, but yeah, we'll work that out definitely. Um, but go ahead, Scotty. Sorry.
Yep, no problem. So the thing that kind of drove me to Tired Hands is it's a similar brewery to what I have near me in Carton. Small batch brewery. Uh, it has a huge following. It's very hard to even find their stuff. I guess Carton may be a little bigger. I don't know, but um, and I only base that on the fact that they're distributing. But I know Tired Hands. I think they actually have two locations. But supposedly their new releases of cans are done on Wednesdays, and
Yeah.
it comes out at 5 p.m. and there's a line waiting at 12. So just to kind of show the demand to get their beer. I was lucky enough to have a friend going out into that area, and he stopped by and um, picked me up. The only thing he could get his hands on was this Trendler, which is their Pilsner. He did fill a growler for me of another beer, which was awesome, which is just escaping my mind right now. But without further ado, crack this open.
You missed it the last last week or a week before. Steve had a he had brought back two crowlers of beer from Trogs, and you know how you were
Really?
always saying that he had always had the biggest giant beer in the world. Well, it was the crowlers was there, so it was good. It was good, but yeah, that
So disregard the Brooklyn Brewery shining through.
yeah.
Um, this actually surprises me that their Pilsner is actually this crisp and clear, because all the other beers I've had from them are uh, very hazy.
So is that because their beers are very similar to what you can get at like Trillium too? You know, as far as that, there's a lot of them are
Yeah,
unfiltered.
they
So
they seem they seem to all be unfiltered. I know Tired Hands does a lot of sours and saisons, but they do a lot of IPAs as well, and everything seems to be heavily hopped. I mean, even this Pilsner has a nice level of hops that comes through, and looking at the can to see what they use, um, Citra. So get a nice citrusy hop coming through. Very crisp, very dry finish. It's actually a really nice light beer. I don't even know what the alcohol level is in this.
online it said 5.6.
Hmm. Well, there you go. It's not even on the can.
Huh.
But highly recommended. If anyone can find Tired Hands Brewing, definitely pick it up. I haven't been disappointed thus far in any of their beers.
You know, I've only had Tired Hands maybe once or twice at Isaac's, but you know it's
Actually, I saw something Isaac's posted the other day. They're tapping one of the some Tired Hands keg.
are they really? Oh man.
Yeah, I think I saw it the other day. They posted that. Another brewery though, I'm looking to get out to, and I'm actually gonna try and hook up with Alex.
Oh nice.
He's he's up in North Jersey, but we're gonna try and get over to Other Half Brewing in Brooklyn.
Right.
So another similar, they hazy IPAs with a big following. Very hard to get their cans. So it seems I'm always in the hunt of something I can't find nowadays, for better or worse.
Well, it's not a bad thing, right? I mean, it's definitely one of those things where, we know that there are great breweries that are out there and that are doing different things, and we're seeing these beers now that are regional that you can't get, which makes the the beer exchange for the channel even more interesting. Because you have these local places. Rochester's bringing me a bunch of stuff from his local area in Vermont. And I'm bringing a bunch of things from. Well, actually, I have the whole setup, the things I'm bringing from, and right behind me in a box here. So, but yeah, but you can't get it out of this area, which is amazing. So. So one thing I did add to this while you were or you're gone last week, I think we started up a rating system.
Okay.
So what would you rate this beer on a scale from 1 to 5? And I was thinking maybe going halves, but not the quarters like Untappd. I was kind of trying to relate it to, here's our thing for a rate for this beer.
I will say I'm never the largest fan of Pilsners, but I'd rate this one a 3.5. I think it's pretty good. I like the level of hops in it. It's, like I said earlier, it's very crisp. This I could see being a great spring, summer beer. Refreshing. Yeah, a solid 3.5.
Nice. So you definitely would drink it again then?
Yes.
Now, is it on par with your summer beer for Pabst? Because you're a big Pabst Blue Ribbon fan, but
I'd rate Pabst probably a 2.5.
Okay. Wow.
But now a lot goes into Pabst and why I choose that as a nice, refreshing summer beer. And a major contributing factor to that is price. I mean, you can't beat the price of a PBR.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it myself, but it is what it is. What's up, Solar? Been a while, man.
The thing with Pabst is once in a while, you just want a beer that tastes like a simple beer. It has no other characteristics, where this has a lot going on with hops and what have you there, where PBR, it just tastes like a beer. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is that's what PBR is. You can't compare it to any of these small batch craft brewers. It's just a beer.
Right.
I don't know if I'm making sense at all at this point, but that's the way this mind works.
That's all right, man. It's all right. That's all right. So 3 out of 5 then for the 3.5 out of 5 then for the tender pills.
Yep.
That's not bad.
And I actually checked this in on Untappd, and I'd be curious to see what I rated it when I checked it in there.
Oh, all right.
See if it's similar to 3.5.
Oh, you know absolutely nothing about beer beyond scientific stuff. Ah, well, you know what, Solar, you brought up a good point. I don't know when I'm gonna do this. Maybe we'll start this when I'm done my beer review. But I am not as knowledgeable as with beer terms as Drew Rochester. So what I thought it would be really cool, and I admire his knowledge. He has a lot of knowledge to give. But I want to improve myself. I got to improve myself. So each week, what I'm going to be doing is putting on we're going to be going over a different terminology, a beer terminology, whether it's a brewing terminology or whatnot, just so that we all can learn together, and I can actually improve myself as far as my knowledge in beer. So we'll do that after my review. But
Sounds good to me.
yeah, because there's a lot of terminology that's out there, and I don't know it, right? So we'll learn. So it's a beer term, a weird word of the week. So, but we'll do that after this. All right, I'm gonna jump in then and do this review, because I had this a while back. Actually, not that long ago. A friend, we did the, adjust my camera here, guys. We did the oh shit, beer vocab. Yes, sir. I'm improving my skills here, man. I gotta keep it up. You know, what it comes down to is that I gotta keep it to the level of you. You know, so you have so much more beer knowledge, and I need to up my game. So the beer that I'm doing today, and Scott, I have one left of these for you. So
Cool.
This is a beer that's not even on the market today. It's not even on the stores. They will be going to stores in the next month or so. But this is a River Horse Raspberry Triple Horse Belgian style ale. It's about 10%. And I don't know if this is going to be something that's going to be on a regular schedule for them, but this is what I was really pretty happy about. I spelled triple wrong. Well, that's how it's spelled on the bottle. I mean, you can look. Triple.
So blame River Horse.
Yeah, so well, that's also the style, so it's different. What's up, Joe? How are you, man? Good to see you, brother. So again, this beer was given to me by one of my friends at River Horse. This is not even on the market yet. So I did crack one of these open to test it out with Ann, my wife Ann. She really enjoyed it. And he even has like their symbol is a hippopotamus, but even has a hippopotamus with a bray on it. So yes, Belgian triple is the style. All right, so today I'm actually going to be drinking out of my Devil's Backbone glass. We'll go into that whole thing after this. It was a good time, by the way. Anybody missed it? How's work been? I haven't asked you since the gaming days. Well, it's been good, actually. So, but I can answer that in a second, Suller. So I'm going to pour this out in here. What's up?
Priorities
beer. This beer does have a decent amount of carbonation, and there is a bit of a pink hue to it. Like I said, this beer is not even on the market yet. You can tell that the color has a little bit of a hue of, I guess, whatever the raspberries, or maybe even the this, maybe if they use syrup, I'm not really sure, but I mean, like, I'm hoping they would use regular raspberry, like pure raspberries. But the nose on it, when you actually sniff this, the raspberries come straight through. It feels like I went out to my garden, just grabbed a bunch of raspberries and crushed them in my hands. So it looks like beer. No, it doesn't just look like beer. It's red. It's different. So Albino Slug Mango IPA Dank Juice Bomb. Ooh, Jesus. Oh, man, I should have drank
I love the term dank used for beer. We talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So again, now as it's kind of settled, the raspberry has the scent of it has kind of settled. You can still smell a lot of raspberry in it, but it isn't as prominent as when you first poured it. So I'm gonna pour the rest of it in here because I don't want to waste any of this stuff. This is definitely a Belgian style triple. So it is 10%. It does have a very sweet flavor to it. Beard tuck tape, lube, and bacon will save the world. Why
I can
lube?
get on.
I
can get on bow bacon. I don't know about lube.
Or destroy it. I could go beard, duct tape, and bacon. But why lube, Solar? Why lube? This definitely has a hint of raspberry to it, but it's not overpowering, which is nice. It is very alcohol-y. I can actually feel it burning. Not burning, but it just. Maybe it's also I haven't eaten yet, so it goes straight down. It's not the same type of burn you would get from like a whiskey or a vodka or anything like that. But there is like a very big alcohol flavor to it. But ironically, it's to contradict that, it is quite smooth, you know. And the 10% with that raspberry flavor, I think this is actually very deadly. Does the triple taste of pears typically be in a, you don't taste that here because of the raspberry. If it is, it's very subtle. That's the only thing I can say.
Because River Horse has a triple horse, so this is just a variant with raspberry.
Yes, a variant with raspberry. And the interesting thing is, I was talking with one of the vendors and using the laptop, my knee keeps twitching. They asked me what was the next trend in beers, and we talked about this last week, Scotty. My biggest gripe was there's a lot of beers that are coming out that have like fruit added into it. There's a lot of fruit IPAs now. Sculpin has like 17 variations of it, but it was only time until they added something into like a Belgian style beer as well, right, in the US. So I don't really get any of the pear here. Have a beer and calm the leg. Yeah, Solar is one of those who if you are, I don't want to know. Is this a good beer? Belgians are one of the beers that styles that actually got me into drinking craft beer in the first place. But my problem is that the raspberry is very overpowering. It's sweet, and it is you can't taste any of the traditional flavors that you would get out of a Belgian triple. Would I drink this again? Yes, and very sparingly, I think. Only because of the sweetness that's in here and the smoothness of this beverage, I could see this going down way too fast and me getting into a lot of trouble. So with that, I would probably not. If it's sweet, it's probably like extract, raspberry extract, probably. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but if a lot of times when they use a fruit extract, you get that like syrupy, medicine-y flavor off it.
It doesn't have that, which is why I kind of hope, that it is all fresh. But
actually, now that you're talking about this, I think I saw a post from River Horse. I don't know on what outlet it was, but I remember them saying they used 50 pounds. I'm thinking they said raspberry puree.
Oh,
for this. So I think it's raspberry puree.
Well, we can always ask Brad. I mean, that's one of the cool things that I'm going to talk about after I'm done talking about this beer. But we were invited to go do a tour of and a private tasting at River Horse one Saturday coming soon. So I can't help to notice that the beer so far tonight is rather light in color compared to previous streams. Yes, because it's warmer, and my beer palate changes with the weather, So that's a lot of puree. Yes, 50 pounds of that would be a lot of puree.
Well, they make huge batches at these places.
Yeah, this is true.
Well, I got 5-gallon batch.
But as far as a rating on this, I don't want to give it a 4, but I think it deserves a 4, and it's not because of the flavor.
You just want to make sure that River Horse keeps us scheduled for that Saturday.
No, I think one way or another we'd still have that. That wouldn't be a problem. A friend of mine, Brad, said, hey, come on, let's go hang out and do the same thing we did at Isaac Newton's the other day, which was fantastic. So, but yeah, I'm super excited about that. But anyway, we'll get into that in a second. I think 3.75. Right, I'm going for the halves.
Wait,
right?
so we couldn't do quarters.
Quarters. Yeah. I'm going for the quarters. I overwrote my own rule, but all right, that's fine. So yeah, 3.7, all right, 3.5, 3.5 stars I would give it. Right. So, I again, this is and the only reason why I didn't give it a 4 because I know from me, this type of beer, if I had this in excessive amounts of it, I would definitely be on the floor. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't give this a 4, because it's way too fruity and sweet and goes down way too quick. And at 10%, I know that would be, like I said, trouble for me. So
I was actually interested to hear your review on this because I've had the River Horse Triple Horse, and I always felt that was very similar to what you get out of that. It went down smooth, but it still had this alcohol burn to it, and it was almost over the top sweet, which didn't agree with me. I have a Triple Horse in the fridge now. It's been there probably for at least a year and a half, and I keep thinking that
yeah,
I'll get to it, and I never am thirsty for it.
Well, and it's.
But it'd be interesting when you drop off that last one you have, to actually try them side by side.
Well, that'd be fun. I mean, so I think if we're still on March 25th.
Yep.
All right, so March 25th. Mark your guys' calendar. It is a Saturday. Obviously not this Saturday because this Saturday is PAX East. But 2 Saturdays from now, March 25th, Scott and I will be brewing. We figure out where we're going to be brewing at a later date and what we'll be brewing. But we'll be brewing at some point.
I think
something.
I think it's three Saturdays.
3 Saturdays?